When I first started preparing for cars, it was like fighting an uphill battle. I was constantly getting 1 out of 6, 2 out of 6 on like every single article. It felt very demoralizing. When I took my first practice test, I don't even remember the score I got. I remember it was just super low, like 122 or 123 on cars. It was my lowest section on that practice test. It's a section that every pre-med dreads having to study for. The passages are long, difficult, and immensely confusing. The questions are equally the same way, often asking insanely convoluted questions that require a deep level of thinking into the way that the author thinks, which is not something most of us are used to. It is no wonder why pre-meds consider cars to be the hardest section of the MCAT. But what if I told you there was a way to master cars, to make it so easy that it feels illegal? I personally went from getting like these 1 out of 6 to 2 out of 6 on like every cars article to scoring 131 on the real thing, which is close to the maximum score you can get. And then that was just 6 months later. Just follow my steps exactly and you will score 130 plus guaranteed. So the first thing I'll mention is that cars, more than any other section, requires volume. And what I mean by that is I can't like give you a lecture or give you a book that like explains how to do cars, because I can give you like tips and tricks like on what I use, but you have to have actually apply it, the information that you're given. It's not like chemistry where it can tell you like how acids and bases work and how you can determine pH and any of that. Like you can't really study for cars the same way you study for other sections. What's important for cars is just doing it and do it every single day. What I recommend is doing Jack Weston articles every day. Do try to do at least two a day. I would do this even on days where I just didn't feel like doing anything. I like there were days I would like I knew I had to study, but I just didn't feel like doing anything. So instead of studying like chemistry or bio for that day, I would just do my daily cars articles. I would make it a daily habit. Even on days where I didn't feel like doing anything else, I would do cars. And when you do these daily Jack Weston articles, do a thorough review afterwards. Make sure you know like why you got each question wrong, why you got each question right. Make sure you mark like the ones that you guessed so you can come back to them later and see like did I have like the right thinking? Is that like why I got this question right? Or did I just guess like completely out of the blue and ended up getting it right based on chance? You want to make sure you know like why you got each question right and wrong. Another thing that really helped me was this 30-day cars boot camp that I went through. It like drastically improved my scores like near the end. It didn't do anything like towards the beginning, but towards the end it like really helped me because it helps you like think like the way that the author like wants you to think, and it helps you like critically analyze like the articles that you're reading. And another thing I would suggest is you don't want to use like every car strategy that people suggest to you, because some strategies work better for some people and then some strategies work better for other people. So what I suggest is that you try these new strategies and see what works for you. For example, there was a strategy that people were telling me about where they read the questions first and then they like went through the article, and I tried that and it was like I could see like why it helps some people because you have like a baseline knowledge of like what the article is about before you start, but I found it like more helpful to just read the article first, especially since I'm a fast reader. But like your case might be different. Like you might like benefit a lot from reading the questions before you read the article. And another thing I'll add, like specifically for cars, is that patience and consistency are key. So focus on the improvements that you're seeing rather than raw scores on sections. Like a 3 out of 6 on a cars section, that's like a bummer. It's like not that good. But if you started off like hitting 1 out of 6, 1 out of 7 on like every section, and now you're getting like 3 out of 6, 3 out of 7, that's like consistently, that's a massive improvement. You should focus on that rather than like what score you're getting. And Another thing I'll add is that you should learn to be fine with scoring low early on. You can't expect to be getting 6 out of 7, 7 out of 7, like right out the gate. It took me like 6 months to be able to get to that. And I'll add, you want to try to switch over to AAMC cars questions towards the end, just so you know like what types of questions, what types of passages they're going to give you, because it's different from Jack Weston. And some specific tips I'll give. Don't read the cars articles like you're reading something that you read for leisure. Like, don't read it like you're reading Harry Potter. Read it like you are a literary critic. It's this is not something you're reading for fun. Ask yourself questions throughout. Like, what is the author's purpose for writing this passage? Like, what does he want the audience to get out of it? Why did the author word this specific thing this way? Why did he use this metaphor? What is he trying to get at? What is the main theme of this passage? That's a big like question that they like derive like a lot of other questions from. And if you know like what the theme of the passage is, that will help you a lot whenever you're answering questions going forward. Another thing is, what is the author's opinion? Because sometimes it's not like super straightforward. You have to keep in mind like the way they word things and the words that they use and the themes and topics that they talk about. What is he or she thinking while writing this? Like, what do they want the reader to like get out of this? And I'll mention that all of this stuff is like it's talked about by Cars Bootcamp, and it helps a lot with getting inside the mind of the author. So you aren't just reading this like passively. You will actively like try to think about like why is the author like putting this information? Why what is their opinion? Like what is the purpose of this article is what I'm like trying to get at. And if you follow like all these steps that I laid out here, you will do amazing on cars. You will get like above 130 plus. Just stay consistent, do like one or two articles every single day. Try to try to see like improvements. Try to critically analyze the passage, like your literary critique. Go through all the feedback that Jack Weston and AAMC provide for you. Make sure you understand why you got each question right or wrong, and then make sure you don't make the same mistakes over and over again. And try to implement like new things like week by week and make sure they're helping you. If they're not, then just cut those like new strategies out. Like only like keep the new strategies in that are helping you. If it helps someone else but doesn't help you, you don't need to use it. That's what I'm getting at. If you want like more personal one-on-one advice, by the way, I have a community in the it's the top link in the description where I will give you like one-on-one tutoring on cars and the MCAT in general, and also like pre-med applications. It's a community that will help you a lot. So that's all I have for today. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or to join my paid community and ask them there. Otherwise, I bid you all farewell.